script? Where is the script?
Oh my gosh, she needs a script. I'm going to say hello. Welcome to Truck Driver Nation. Today we got something we want to talk about. She blew that one right out the gate. But what we want to talk about today is obviously, why we work nights in the Philippines to make US money. She'll catch on in just a minute what she's going to talk to. I guess I'm gonna have to lead her. But that being said, what people don't really see is the reality of living on the opposite side of the world, okay? And obviously trying to run a business tied to American business hours every single day. That being said, you don't have no giveaway. You can't just all of a sudden start working nights and expect your sleep to even out. We are dependent on the work structure of the United States based on a 12, if it's Eastern time, a 13, all the way up to a 14-hour time difference that we're ahead of that given day. Do we forget stuff and screw it up?
Oh yeah.
And who's responsible for that? She's better try. She better do a U-turn. That's all I'm telling you. It's gonna be a long ass night. So like right now, it's the morning time in the United States. Right now it is literally right now it is 9:15 Eastern time, and so it's 9:15 p.m. this time. So
Here.
in the next 3 hours, we'll be going into the next day, and everybody's still in the morning time, and that's the thing about this. But that being said, top we were going to kind of discuss. One of it is going to be the with massive time zone difference. We kind of covered that one. Sleeping during the daytime. Tell me how that works out for you, baby.
During the daytime,
Let me call her Maria.
I get
We
a
don't want to
nap.
use baby. How does that work out for you, Miss Maria?
I get a nap of an hour or 2 hours.
I
But
guess that's all she's going to say.
yeah.
You got to read her mind. She's I don't know what she is, but you know. Okay, missing normal schedules. What when we come to missing normal schedules, what does that look like? I guess I'm gonna have to follow up because she ain't thinking. But anyways, what does that do for us for missing normal schedules based on what we do here, and then obviously what does the nighttime do to those normal schedules?
Just reschedule it.
Mm, 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 mm. So what it does is if we got dentist appointment or we got other stuff, doctor's appointment, it makes it hard to make those appointments. It's just one of those things where, um, by the time you get done, are you so exhausted from the previous night? Yes, the nights still go by fast if you're working. Because in one thing, you actually work better, I believe, because we don't have no distractions. The whole town is shut down. There ain't nothing going on outside the pit bulls that we own out there barking and chasing rats, or we got a monitor lizard out there, and now we got a cat in the ceiling that we heard tonight. There's always somebody living here extra that's not paying rent,
Or baby chickens.
or baby chickens, which the dogs are killing. So, it's always something. Um, talk about the fatigue and burnout. Tell me, what do you feel about that for yourself?
All the time. That's all I can say.
And what essence?
Can't think straight, especially when George talks. You have to be in secluded room on your own so you can actually function like that.
I'm not sure how the fatigue and burnout made it to there. But, the fatigue and burnout, it does last. Chronic fatigue is actually a medical condition. In medicine, we actually look at it in that sense that it's actually starting to, you're out of your circadian rhythm. You're not actually getting the right REM, rapid eye movement time that you actually need because you kind of cycle it in and out, but you really need to stay in that REM period for I think it's at least 3 to 4 hours of the total 6 to 8 hours that you're actually going to get. Obviously, as you get older, you need less sleep, but that's just depending on the given factors of workload and stuff. And since we work a lot behind the computers definitely work on our eyes. So you're talking about nighttime, even so you during the daytime you bring the visibility of a screen up because you're competing against the lumens of the sun and the general overall area. At night, it's opposite. Everything's pretty much well blacked out. Now, any type of illumination coming out of the computers actually is highlighted, so you have to back it down as far as you can so you can maintain that level. But that being said, everybody's learned more about computer radiation. Oh shit, because we spent so many days and hours actually building our business. Now, the next one is trying to balance business and personal life. It's kind of still in the same sense, but let's get some insight.
Our personal life is still a mix of business. Everywhere we go, we try to make content, make use of the background, different, things that we can say outside business.
We do a lot of social media stuff. That's been one of the things because we got all the platforms, and you can't, you basically you lean on one or two, for the most part, but you still kind of scatter out through all of them. But that being said, we even when we're out working, we try to get some rest. And when we first started, we were sleeping everywhere. I mean, we would sleep across a pizza box. It was pretty bad. We'd be inside of a cafe and fall asleep, you name it. So that's been one of the challenges. And then obviously, and not even wanting to move to even go back home because you're like, oh my God, it's such a long ride home. And we was on public transit systems, no heat, rush hour. I mean, no AC for the most part, and rush hours, no blinds or nothing on the window. So the
True.
car we rented was completely blacked out, so she could sit in the passenger seat like Queen Sheba wrapped in her blanket and enjoy her bop 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 lily dolling around town. But yes, pretty rough on that. Um, Having to stay available constantly because of the time zone, that's a big problem. What do you think about that?
I think it's not a problem as long as you're used to it and you have the same schedule. May not be 100% the same, but at least 99% of the time. For instance, in BPO, schedules are rotated at least every week. So it's balanced for everybody.
So when you say rotated, what do you mean?
Like 9 to 5 for me for this week and next week, 5 a.m. to 9 because,
So what do you
operations
think
run
that did
24
for you
by
since you
7.
was changing? That's an 8 hour shift, right? So what did it do for you when you was changing that next 8 hour shift kicked over? Was it causing you a lot of problems and adjusting to it quickly, especially you're saying within a 7 day period?
No, it's not a lot of problem as long as you have an alarm and you're rested because if you're only working within office hours, what else are you doing on your days off?
I
Unless you
don't
work
know.
at a bar.
She's a bar girl.
Because to me, that was working. But not to the extent that it doesn't affect your health. Of course, still there's burnout, there's fatigue. That's why we still have leave credits. So, when you feel you're burned out, you use your leave credits. Go on a vacation for a week or how much ever your leave credits are available, you know.
Now, what about the stress from the from nonstop communication? Because you got your regular life during the offset hours because you work at night versus your daytime hours.
Exhausting. Talk and talk, endless talk is exhausting. Hence, on your break time, at least your lunch, um, it varies to your team lead or your boss. Like we had a team lead outside office, whether it's 15 minutes break or lunch break, she she limits us talking about work. We'll talk about family, about our plan for the weekend, getaway, whatever, just to for a recharge, because without recharging, then you don't want to go back to work anymore.
And what about emergencies happening while everyone else locally is asleep?
Emergency happening. Oh, depends where you're working for us, because we run our own show, so we just do whatever, right? But for BPOs, they have their protocols. Like, you let your client know that we're currently having an emergency. I'll call you back as soon as I can. Blah blah blah. That's why they have their CRM, where they take notes of what happened within that call.
Now, as far as from the way I see it, when we went to medical facilities and needed help because we were out of sync with the schedules, yes, we forced us to stay up during the day. But if you did anything in the evening or anything on the weekend, whatever medical professionals that were there were professionally a ghost. So that caused, you ended up with interns, residents, and stuff like that. And there was really no medical control kind of charge doctor, because there's no level one, two, and three or four type hospital type of deal. But that being said, you also got to incorporate where you're actually at. We work from a lot of different places, a lot of different regions of the Philippines. So the bigger cities obviously got more assets outside of in the more province country areas. Then that becomes, I feel, more problematic. The level of communication is always a barrier since I'm from the United States. But thing is, I don't know how other people view it. And I don't want to sound prejudiced, but thing is, when I'm giving you a level of care that's needed because I'm diagnosing myself, because me diagnosing myself and you diagnosing me, I'm telling you, you know how to diagnose yourself. You know yourself better than the person putting their hands on you. So when I tell you I've got a respiratory issue and I know my normal, whatever level of continuity as far as my quality of life, that's a problem because they're not taking that to the level, ABC, airway, breathing, and circulation. If it's one of those first three factors, then obviously you need to go ahead and get on past whatever initial triage there is and go ahead and go to, more like an urgent type of care. But that was a problem. So long-term mental and physical exhaustion.
Oh yeah, when I was on my own. I started for other people don't have the same effects as I had, okay? But I started having vertigo, obviously fatigue, burnout, all that. So I was sent home and I was rescheduled for that meantime. And you feel better, you go back to that same schedule. It's just it still varies to your boss. It's not always the same situation or perks. We call it perks. Like if I was a team lead, sure, I'll give you a different schedule, but only for the meantime. For us, he gets he gets dizzy at times. So
But that could be, you know what I mean? You just don't know. Because I get tension in the back of my neck. I'm not sure if it's looking over the computer. I can start getting headaches sometimes. It runs up this side and then up the posterior aspect of my skull kind of deal. But then again, I don't know if that's the impact of the light coming from the computer systems, or is it still postural, implications? Because I have GERD, gastric esophageal reflux disease, then I have to basically put it being a kind of like a semi-recumbent type of upward sitting level, right? When I'm actually going to sleep, and that doesn't always keep your spine in line. Would you guess? But that being said, in fact, I end up with some issues that normally I never had before because of this new way that we're doing it. Because I was always in transportation, and if I was at the office, I'd go in for their office hours, and the day was done. That's the reason I can't wait to get her home because she thinks we're going to work like this forever. And I'm telling her we're having to sacrifice a lot to hold out to get this visa. And but that being said, it's definitely rough on you. And another thing is, what do you sacrifice behind earning U.S. income overseas? It ain't no sacrifice. Holy shit. If I had to make a peso, man, I just hang my damn self. I'll be honest. Find me a big old mango tree and string myself up. It's just, there's no comparison. You got to work for the American dollar if you are actually from the United States. Um, what consistency, uh, why consistency becomes difficult over time? The grind, the routine grind, it eventually wears you down. Eventually, sometimes I'll look and I say, baby, pack it up. We got to go somewhere for a week or 2 weeks and we're gone. I mean, I don't like sacrificing or putting our business in jeopardy, but sometimes I just got to have it, you know? And I've seen how we've slowed down on some of our normal work ethic patterns, and I have to kick everybody in the ass and wake everybody else. It makes me look like a jerk, which I am. But that being said, I don't want to go to that level because we have to do this. This is not a game. This is real life. I know we're not taking none of this with us, but you still have to maintain that level and quality of life. That only thing that fixes it is money. So that's one of the rough situations. You got anything to say on that?
no, nothing positive.
But that's the whole point. So say what you need to say.
I don't think it's difficult. It becomes a challenge. You get burnout over the same pattern, even in BPO going back, because that's the best thing I can give you. Because for us, we run our time. It's almost 24 by 7. Others have schedule for consistency. They have the same pattern. And when, if, or they break it, that could cost them the job. you
But
know.
now we own our business. So when she says 24 by 7, she means 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And in theory, but we do spend a lot of time that when we should be relaxing, part of it, there's just nothing to damn well do here. So I do rather work on this because when I get home, she doesn't understand. The United States is the great distraction. So we're going to be busy doing stuff. We're right now I've been looking at filing claims for areas on BLM land. And so that way we can go, search for minerals and type of stuff because I like being adventurous. It's just the type of person I am. So instead of her being in front of a computer, she's going to have a shovel and be off in a riverbed digging dirt, throw it in a gold sluice so we can see if we can get enough gold together to make her a ring. If not, we are going to go with the cattle ring in her nose and just play it off on cultural type of deal. But yeah, she's going to look like a water buffalo, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. But anyways, relationship strains from opposite schedules. We on the same schedule. But,
Like yesterday, I said, I got a lot of things to do. I gotta work from tonight till the morning, probably. He
yeah.
can't sleep. You think I trust you for me to fall asleep?
I don't trust her. Next thing I know, she'll be trying to escape. I'm not losing slave labor. But the thing is, I'm concerned about her. I worry about her. She has anxiety, so I want to just be there. You know what I mean? She's always by my side to protect me, and I owe her that same courtesy to not, just leave her hanging. Eventually, I do fall asleep. I do my best to try to be there with her. Do you
When
want something to
when he
drink?
puts me in chains.
Yeah, when I put her in a chain, I've made my mind up. I'm going to do the electric dog collar. That'll give her to the edge of the yard. We're gonna put the little track out. So when I hear her out there screaming, I know she's there. So it gives her enough time to think she's getting away. But like I told her, I can catch you before you get to the end of that gate out there.
So we're far off to the main
Yeah, we're
road.
way off the main road. We're like in a compound. What else? Isolation from normal social life. Big one.
I would rather sleep than go social.
Yeah, she's a house rat, house cat.
Even with our employee, I don't really have the time to talk to her. Even she works here.
Yeah, we don't do no team building. The only thing I want is that visa. That's all I'm looking for, so we can get back home.
We used to offer the team building, but
I ain't all for team building. These people are not consistent. They don't have the work ethic that I have because I know what it takes. But trying to grow a business while exhausted, that's impossible. We strategize more than anything. Being in the virtual world, we try to let the software and the stuff that we do, like these videos and everything, and the videos we do on TikTok and everything else, to try to, promote our business and the legitimacy of who we are and how much we struggle. And people don't give you no credence that you're trying to do your best on behalf of them.
I don't think it's impossible. It's just it takes time and the right people to work with you.
Yeah, it does.
Like we have already hired number of people, and so far I had only saw one, and she couldn't even stay because I guess night shift, huh?
Yeah, because people don't get it. When you're from the United States, literally your whole life is revolving around these American time zones. Everything is revolving around that time zone. We got a clock right here and we watch it and everything's based off when is it time to start working for the United States, the home country type of thing. Because there is otherwise, if you lose that, oh yeah, then we got a problem. And I don't want to leave her here.
That's a negative thing with Americans that are actually physically in the United States. They have a lot and so much advantage considering including the time, but they don't see it.
Yeah. Because people think, oh, I'm going to be working overseas. This is going to be glamorous. This is going to be in freedom. In reality, it really feels like you're living in a permanent type of jet lag because you're always in that time zone. So it's definitely rough on you. There's no way around that. But anyways, that being said, let's kind of give some kind of takeaway. Better opportunities. Do you think we got better opportunities? I think we're actually hurting on the opportunities. Be honest. It's a good thing I was in logistics. Otherwise, have to be home right now. And obviously, I'm in logistics. Let's not kid it. 100% I'm in logistics.
I think
Uh,
considering we're getting paid United States dollar, I think
That's
we
the
have
only
better
motivation.
opportunities
Oh yeah,
than
but absolutely.
the BPO call centers here and there, you know.
Yeah. Um, Lower living costs, that is a benefit, but my personal opinion, I don't think it's worth the trade-off on what we're having to give up quality of life wise.
No, we keep grinding because we can't otherwise we won't be able to live the
She's
life
getting close to being American. She heard the word grinding and she finally understood what it means to grind.
the hustle, the grind. I know
Oh,
that crap.
she's gonna. So, immigration officer, hit her with that one. She knows. If you ask her anything about what was my favorite color and what's my family like, I know they're white. I know they're from the United States. But anyway,
Building something big and long term.
that's what we've been doing the whole time. And obviously, when we get back to the United States, we know we're going to kill it because we're already built it. And we've already been strategizing for what we're going to do when we get home and done research on it. We don't just throw money at problems. We actually strategize what we're doing. So we've got a great future sitting right at our fingertips. We're waiting on that visa. So, but the whole point, what you need to understand when you're coming here as far as how this was going to look like for you.
I like this closing, but also the sacrifices most people never and will never see
No, they
unless
don't say it. They
they're
live it.
there. Yeah.
You got to live it and breathe it.
It's
It gets
easy.
frustrating. Sometimes we get in a fight. People think, "Oh, y'all look like such a happy couple. Oh my goodness, you must just be." She is this. Oh my, this is my mother. She is the sweetest thing, George. You better treat her good. Shit, man. Mama needs to quit that house cat and mouse thing. She's got her ways about her too that burned me to the core of my ass. And I know I do the same thing with her because I can see in her eyes, but we do understand that we got a bond.
It's easy to talk, or as George will say, talk is cheap. Like people will say, I'm willing to learn, I'm fast learner.
Boy, think that I'm getting a damn t-shirt on that one. I am a
But
fast learner.
put them to
How
the
fast?
test.
So it takes us about a year to train you. How fast are you going to trim down on that year?
The resistance, even after saying they're fast learner. You can't learn if you're just resisting.
Give them 3 months and you start seeing their true characteristics come out. You know, she's got a complaint list right now. I'm just not going to get off into it because this actually is going to be out there. And every one of them is justified, and she's right. But thing is, she's got to learn to make these adult decisions. So I'm going to stand back. I'm not going to put my 2 cents into it. I tell her, make a move. I 100% support you on what you're going to do. It's
Because
just,
he's already lived it. I'm
yeah.
just going to that life now. So that's the way it's training me. But people will never see and will never understand unless you're the same shoe size, you know?
Because me, I'm in logistics. Grab your shit. You didn't do your job. You're out of here. Like right now, don't waste our time. If I have to kick you out, I'll kick you out myself. I got some boys back there in the back room. They're more than willing to help you throw your stuff out here in the front yard. We don't care. You came in logistics. We put money for boarding you and everything, and it's time for you to go. Okay. Now, if they want to just leave on their own and don't cause a problem, absolutely. We wish you the best. Because the thing is, I don't have time for them to grow up. This actually has to be moving every single day. If we don't have progress one day, then you just pulled us backwards, and we don't need you around us. So that's the way it has to be saying. And I wish there was a better way to do it. And we get people calling.
It's funny how he
I'm gonna
said
preach a little bit to you.
he's not gonna go to my subject, but he will to his.
You get people calling us that I got all this experience. I've been in logistics for 20 something years. And they're trying to sell me on what they know. Don't sell me on jack shit. Show me. When I go to a carrier and or whoever it is, and I'm applying a job, show me what needs to be done. Let me fix it. I'm not wanting to show you. Give the crap to me. How in the hell am I going to show you if you're not giving it to me? Now, if you want to sit here and rattle my ear and me preach out every moment that I've lived and breathed, and every instance and every scenario that I have went through dealing with all this shit, then that's totally different. In fact, that's probably not going to. I may not want to work for you if you're that type of person. Just give me the work. You brought me in to handle a problem. I will handle it, and I need that way that window of negotiation so I can handle it. I don't need to come to you. I don't need a big brother to understand logistics. I need to understand your company, understand your overall objectives and your desire and which direction y'all are hiring and the teamwork that the people that I'm going to be working with and who does what. If I got somebody that's in that team giving me a hell of a resistance, then you know what? I need to come to you. Look, this ain't gonna work. You got people standing in my way. I don't stand in their way. Whatever you need from me, if I have it available or it's within my grasp, I will help you out. If I tell you that I don't have time to do it right now, then I don't have time. I know how time management. There's a difference between time management and multitasking. I can multitask literally. My whole damn day is so tight that I don't get nothing done because you got to stay progressive on each thing with a certain amount, a lot of time to actually see the results. And if you have to do it over 3 or 4 days, well, what's the urgency level of that particular task? But anyways, I get that from people wanting to rattle their chain about how good they are, and they really aren't. Because I can listen to their conversation and I can hear holes punched in it. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. You want me to say you're the best damn thing since the boiled egg or something? I don't know. I mean, but that being said, let her continue because I do step on it, but I get emotional about it because I want you to know when you come here, make sure whoever you got back in the United States, those people are 100 with who you are and what you're up to, and they're going to be supportive of you. I don't think that they're all going to be friends. Okay. She has witnessed what's happened to me here. All those people that are friends.
I can
I love
drop
that damn word.
names. I can drop names, but I'd rather not.
I
It
could
won't
drop
help.
them, but yeah,
It don't help anyway. But so going back to the subject, why we work nights in the Philippines to make US dollar. Obviously, so we can live the life somehow that, suffice the life we want, I guess. Because if, for instance, George ain't working and I'm working in Philippine peso, we won't be able to afford even just one pit
you
bull.
can't even get peanut butter and jelly sandwich. She's not showing you the truth. Okay. These pit bulls out here, we paid like $1,000 a piece for them dogs. And you know what they'll actually reap for us on the other end is it'll be significant. You're talking about these are all come from, significant bloodlines. We're talking about $8,000, $10,000 a piece for the puppies. But we're still facing another issue about getting them back. What we originally had been told that it was going to be has changed over the time. So now we're coming with a different problem. So is it worth it? We're still working through that issue. But she's right, working at night. She can't work for no peso. If you end up coming here, you meet somebody, you're gonna have to get them off that peso deal. It is literally worth you to just cut them a payroll or something, however you're gonna look at it, than it is to have them working for pennies where they'd be more productive for your overall family construct to have them working at the house and keeping them busy. Now, if your wife is not a blessing to you, mine is lucky, lucky, lucky. You know what I mean? That she is to have me. Uh,
It's good how he
but
flipped that.
but anyways, I am very blessed to have her. She really does work hard. She really does.
You
And
see my dandruff?
sometimes I'll bullshit. We go get her head job,
That was once
not hand job, head job.
25.
And it takes about an hour and a half to get that thing massaged just sitting on her shoulders. So they squeeze all the nasty
Oh,
dandruff out of it
let's
with
go
it.
on a serious note. On a serious note, what I would suggest for elites, for people that are in our elite programs, if you have virtual assistant or freight dispatchers, since we're in this subject anyway, and I for myself have that experience even now. It's exhausting working nights, and your VAs or experienced
Yeah.
dispatchers are experienced. So, somehow give them the credit, make them motivated. Don't give them like 14,000 pesos for night shifts.
But now we have a VA working during the day and we're still working at night and
We
we're
work
not
day and
seeing the
night.
results that we need to see because we've trained them up. And so what do you do when you're not seeing the results that you need when you're working night and you're not 100% and they got 4 hours before you finally even get up?
And you're having to repeat.
Yeah, repeat training
You,
because they don't want to listen. So like I told her, you don't think we need somebody that's not productive to our organization? Then we get rid of them.
you know,
We were doing this before we started hiring anybody. You know, I, anyways, go ahead, bud.
I mean, I can do it myself, But
Yeah, she can, but I don't like her doing it herself because,
it's already too much
you
at
know,
first.
yeah. I mean, when we're in the United States, it's going to be different because we're on the daytime zone, but here it's not cool.
But that is a suggestion though for the elite. Like Tim has his own way, negotiate
Somebody that
their
he's actually somebody that we actually have teamed with. He's got his own business and we partnered with. That's who that is.
their these people that you have from the Philippines, their experience. Um some of them will demand or will negotiate, like let's just say in peso, right? A lot of these people will negotiate, oh, this is what I can offer for you. And if you know your worth, don't accept it or accept it. It's up to you. But on the other hand, for the elites, um, don't offer them too low, you know. Their experience too.
Oh, you know what she's talking about, elites. She's always a step behind. These are students that actually come to our freight dispatching program at Truck Driver Nation, truckdrivernation.com. So that being said, they come through and we actually help them set their businesses up. So that's what she's in reference to because we outsource the freight dispatchers and also the truck driver recruiters. They work with the American people that actually want to either be here or work from the United States, and they negotiate the rate too low. If you've got an experienced freight dispatcher, you're paying them $800 a month, you're in a no lose situation. If you've never had money and you don't know what money strategy is, and you don't know what the strategy is, you're gonna have a hard time, and you're not gonna be able to keep your freight dispatchers. I'll pay $800 a month every damn month because I got an experienced freight dispatcher. Who got shit? You're paying $2,000 to $3,000 for one from the United States, so they're saving you anywhere between 70 and about 80,000 plus dollars just in labor costs.
And that's per week,
And you're only paying them
not every month.
$9,600 a year to work for you the whole year. So, anyways, for y'all that don't know freight dispatching, just kind of ignore it.
Don't be stingy. Just be fair too. Otherwise, you won't be able to find the
Yeah.
person for you.
Even for her, we got our grounds on our relationships and our revenue. Like she gets like a half a bag of rice and some
I
what's that?
barely eat rice now.
Yeah,
Like
you got to
even
get her
before
off that
us.
rice deal. She's gonna become a potato head. But
I
but
don't eat a lot of rice even before us.
but yeah, she gets that and half a can of corned beef hash a day. So I care about her.
So if you have question about the labor cost, I think that's already answered. But otherwise, if you
Yeah.
want to know more about these virtual assistants
Nighttime
or
working.
freight dispatchers, call us.
Yeah, we got a QR code right here in this image, and it'll be on the front of this as well. So, yeah. Uh, uh, uh.
um, yeah, or visit the website truckdrivernation.com.
Yep. And if you want to be a freight dispatcher, we do webinars on Wednesdays. Yeah, and there's another code that you can actually get that will get you directly to me on Telegram. But that being said, that's kind of, what we help people with here. Um, but outside of that, just be prepared for this time difference between when you come to the Philippines. It's going to be rugged on you to begin with. And, if don't get compliant in what you're doing, go ahead and start building stuff because there's a delay time between when you start and you actually start see revenue coming in. But that being said, keep that in mind because right now we do what 30 to 50,000. It's short of 50,000, but that's what we do actual net profit each month, and that's good. So we make good money.
Now, if you have your own show, you're on your own show, like trying to have a foundation with other workers, then don't just kick them in the ass or terminate them
Cheers to not
immediately.
cuss. That's my fault, y'all.
Turn them immediately. Give them the time to catch up with the terms.
Yeah.
Give them the benefit of the doubts. Because what's the difference of training another person? It's just gonna be another same struggle anyway.
Yeah, because when she started, she didn't know nothing. I mean, she cram course, baby, what's a flatbed? What's a step deck? What's a reefer? You name it.
And that's self-study.
Yeah, and self study and me getting pissed off. I was like right now, watch this, baby. What's a fifth wheel?
That's the center thing on the
Tractor.
tractor's back where the trailer is connected to. It's like the connector in the
I wish I had
on
this
the
little button
truck.
I could push and it would pop up with balloons in the picture.
It's black and oval.
She keeps learning. That's the whole point. As long as she's got the concept down, then she'll get it. Obviously, when we get home, she'll be so wrapped up in trucks because we'll be face to face with them with American equipment that's definitely going to benefit her. But obviously, she's got a good understanding going, so that's great. But besides that, that's about all I got to say on this particular subject. What else you got to say, bud?
That's it. Good luck with your alarm, your circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm is still possible. Just build your routine and train
She has anxiety and I have PTSD, and that circadian rhythm really affects it.
Mhm.
It messes it up.
train your people, and if they're not the right people, just give them some time before you terminate them.
Yeah, we try
Because
to train. We try to train before we fire.
because perhaps there are just gaps and laps that they're actually, especially communication barrier. Like sometimes he'll talk to her and he'll assume that
Yeah, the VA we
you
got,
know
I talked to her and I have no idea what the hell she understood, you know.
so
And then it's like, baby, you know what's going on. And in fact, because I hate that she has to communicate for me because I know how the hell to communicate. It's just we don't speak the same language. You're not understanding the rhythm and the overall meaning, full spectrum meaning of what I'm saying.
especially if they have no idea about the line of business you're into. So it does take time. Your people are also another investment, but maybe after, hopefully not six
About a
months.
year.
Yeah,
She's gonna be nice about it. It takes them about a year.
hopefully not that long because we have different, whatever, mind processing thoughts, all that crap. Give them some time because, maybe in time they'll be part of your business and you can actually have the routine you're looking for.
Yeah, she's absolutely right.
So,
But that being said, baby, give us the commercial now. Make sure you like or subscribe us. You gotta like or subscribe us. I don't. What does that do for us?
nothing much.
Okay. Well, like or subscribe us. Like or subscribe for her.
Whether you hate us or like us,
Yeah. Hey, if you hate us, I think you know what? If you hate us, like or subscribe
because
us.
I'm aware a lot of haters
Man,
subscribe.
the haters. Let me tell you about the haters. Oh my gosh, these
But
people with no life.
we
My
pray for
man.
you.
Yeah, we pray for you. Let's give a moment of silence. Okay, that was mine. There you go. You got that one.
All right, send us a message to 103431118. Find our QR codes at the home page at truckdrivernation.com or send us an email support @truckdrivernation.com.
Absolutely. We appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for this episode with you.
I appreciate your time, George.
Please.
Bye.
Thank y'all. Be blessed. Bye bye.